Welcome back to another episode of Built Retro Garage. I know it's been a minute. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. I haven't done anything on the S12, so, yeah, I've just been a lazy piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. We started a podcast because some days are really cold and we can't actually do anything. So we figured instead of just, being lazy, we'll just kind of start a podcast. So if you guys like stuff like that, go check it out somewhere. Put it somewhere. Anyways, today is actually nothing S12 related. My daily has broken. The starter box is right there. And put a new battery in it. That didn't work, so we're gonna put a new starter in it because it doesn't crank. So, yeah, let's go do that. Hello? Hello? Alright, so the starter is all the way somewhere underneath here. You won't really be able to see it, but it's basically right underneath this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop, that's a zip tie, that doesn't exist, that's a zip tie, that doesn't exist. Either way, my car's a little modified, but you'll get the same concept. We're going to pop this off, we're going to move that out of the way, and some other small things, and just hold the upper radiator support out of the way, kind of, and work from it there. First thing you want to really do on this, though, is disconnect the battery, because, if you don't, you're probably gonna electrocute yourself and fry a bunch of shit. So I'll pop this off, and then we'll see what it takes to get the underneath stuff off. Sorry about the background noise. This thing is stuck in my driveway, and it is also only like 32 degrees out for you folks in the States. Yeah, not looking forward to this. Anyways, we got two here. Might have one there. One's already broken, typical Honda. We got another one there. We're just gonna pry that back and pry it under. Might have to take this one off. Definitely probably gonna have to take that one off. I guess the other side's the same too. Interesting. And then we got the other two. After we do that, we'll put this like underneath back here, and then try to take this whole thing and just place it off that way. I'm gonna attempt to leave these in place so that my alignment with my hood's not too messed up. So yeah, I'm gonna tackle those, and then we'll proceed to locate the starter, because it is somewhere like in there. I just can't see it right now because these interfaces are super compact. Alright, so I ended up needing a flex head 10mm to get some of these guys down here. I guess like the grill was in the way. You could take the grill off if you really wanted to, but I was just able to do it without it. I did take those off just because it's more convenient. There's one connector for, I'm not even sure, maybe the horn. I just unclipped that and then kind of just moved this whole thing off to the side there. Now we can see that I'm going to need to take this intake bracket off. The starter's literally right in behind it and not attached to it, but it's in the way. And then I'll probably have to unplug this guy and a couple of connectors, but let's start with the bracket first. Take that off and then come back to it. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to do this upside down and put you guys in here somehow. I broke that, which is for the ignition switch, but that's okay because it should just be fine. I'm gonna attempt to do that one next. I already unplugged this guy here. There was a zip tie here, and then that's the knock sensor. There was a zip tie here that I cut off, so that way when I go to undo this, I can just kind of move that back and deal with the knock sensor by itself. And then we'll do the two bolts, one there and one right back there to take the starter out. So remember what I said earlier about not breaking the knock sensor? I broke the knock sensor. Great. The plug's in the way. I called the store. I got the old knock sensor off. You can see right here that they just kind of fall apart when you take them off. So it's in stock. My buddy is gonna come pick me up. That's probably the best tool you'll need out of this entire job, is having a friend who can lend you a ride. I got the other bolts off. I still have to take the main power source off. The only thing right now is I don't think this stud will allow me to remove the starter completely yet. So I'm gonna do a little double nut trick, tighten these two together, and then see if I can back that stud all the way out. And then we'll just replace that with like a normal bolt or something that I can find from somewhere. And then, I think that'll be it. So I'm gonna get back to you guys as soon as I get the other knock sensor and take the stud out real quick. Okay, so I got the old starter out. I wasn't able to get a knock sensor in time because the stupid kid at the parts store sold me the wrong one, and now they're closed. So I'll have to go exchange that tomorrow. This is the new starter. This is the old starter. This one shakes around a lot. You can hear it. It's all messed up. It doesn't even turn at all anymore. I tried it right before I started this job. I'm gonna say it's bad for sure. I would love to diagnose this, but I don't have my battery charger hooked up or anything at the moment. And the other thing I wanted to note was that the bottom bolt or stud that I was talking about wasn't actually a stud. It was just a nut and bolt. So I just undid that from both sides. It's kind of a bit of a squeeze because my battery was relocated and it's actually in that little pocket. So I just kind of like wedged it in between and tucked it through there and ripped it out, and it was this guy. I got a new nut that's not so rusty, and yeah, so installation is literally just going to be reverse. I'm just not going to be able to put the upper port or anything back on until I get the proper knock sensor tomorrow. So okay, so the new starter is in. The only thing I can really emphasize is don't forget to put the main power wire on before you actually bolt the starter in, because otherwise you'll just have to take the starter back out. Other than that, all the bolts are back in, the connectors are in, the clips are on. The only thing that's not connected at the moment is the knock sensor, because I don't have it. You can see it goes there, and this is the one that broke. It just kind of splits apart and doesn't work anymore, so it is what it is. Good thumbnail, I guess. So everything's good to go except for the knock sensor. I am just gonna put the terminal back on loosely to see and test if it will start. We're gonna hope for the best here. Pretty sure everything is out of the way. Car's in neutral. We have power. And hey, it starts. With no codes, oddly enough, even with the knock sensor unplugged. I should have a cell, but I don't. Tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up the knock sensor, and then I'll see you guys then. It's day 2, I got the new knock sensor. This thing was actually quite very expensive. It was about $110 my cost, which is on a pretty decent discount. You could probably order it on Rock Auto. I probably should have, or somewhere online for a cheaper price, but local, these things are a pretty penny, so really try your best to not break it. But yeah, so I'm gonna install that. It takes a 24mm deep socket or a 15/16. I'm gonna put that on, and then we're gonna put the intake bracket back on, and I'll catch up with you guys then. So I got the knock sensor installed again. Not sure if it'll focus, but yeah, it's there. Zip ties are back on in place. The intake bracket is back on. I gotta tuck this back up and into its appropriate spot. I needed that out of the way for a couple of small things. And yeah, we're just gonna put the upper radiator support back on. Sneak this through because it's a little tricky, and then button up all the bolts. So here we go. She's running. Sorry, that's just my AFRs. I'm just checking out some stuff. She's running nice and smooth, and the knock sensor doesn't appear to be affecting anything. A little noisy, but she's got a lot of kilometers on her. But I swapped the old battery out so I can take that one back because this battery is actually mid. I tried to crank this old starter a bunch of times with this battery and it's still not dead. I haven't put it on the charger or anything, so that battery is actually perfectly fine. I misdiagnosed it as a bad battery. Other than that, she's good to go. So hopefully you guys learn to be very careful with that knock sensor, because even the brand new one came apart on me. We had some unexpected difficulties. I can't stress enough to be super careful with that knock sensor, because even the brand new one fell apart on me, which I was just having an aneurysm at that point. I was like, you know what? I just need to chill, take a break, step back, figure out how to go about it. What I actually ended up doing was, so I was threading it in and just by hand, and the plastic cap piece came off just like the old one broke, but this one had like longer wires in it, probably because it's not OEM. It's just like AutoZone part source special. So I just ended up super gluing the two pieces back together, and I hope that holds. Doesn't seem to be a problem at the moment. But either way, just be really, really, really careful for it. If you can afford to get an aftermarket one, I heard there's some like one-piece steel ones. Go with that. That's probably your better option. The starter is great. The old battery is also still good, so the new one's gonna get returned. That'll save me 200 bucks. And yeah, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and tell me or Matt. Maybe Matt might not care, but I care. Let us know what you're working on.